So I was hoping that we could talk a little bit about just some trends that we're seeing in the market. Your book obviously talks a lot about insurtech trends, and one thing that is obviously a big factor in our lives right now and has been over the last year is the coronavirus pandemic. And we've already seen how the pandemic has had an influence on some, different parts of the tech industry, in addition to all the other areas that it's influenced our lives. But how are you seeing like the pandemic influencing or affecting the insurance industry?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different ways, but I think where I'll start with is really rethinking human connections. So in the past, there was oftentimes a lot of travel. That might be carriers and underwriters visiting agents and producers. That could be loss control going out to look at a particular risk. That could be claims, of course, going out to investigate the scene of an accident, causation, et cetera. So there's just a lot of travel and a lot of face-to-face communication that happened with insurance. And of course, most of that really shut down over 2020. And what's interesting when you reduce kind of that windshield time, I think it's actually right, given back time to allow people to be more productive, right? Instead of trying to cram it right at the airport gate on their phone before they have to turn it off, right? And
Yeah.
before the air is at 10,000 feet, so they can turn back the Wi-Fi, connections and all that. Um, and so I think just productivity is something that's been top of mind. Understanding some of the tools and resources that are out there that I don't have to do things face to face. And then if I am going to be meeting with somebody remotely, whereas typically I was face to face, I really want to rethink that communication, and I want to think about what is the message that I need to deliver, right? What is the purpose of this conversation? What do I want to have accomplished? So I think just having that, rather than just doing the same old kind of step in routine, really taking that step back and being very intentional about our human contacts and human connections. And that could be right with a customer as well, right? Hey, I need you to fill out this form. Well, okay, what does that experience look like, right? And is this just my digital experience is a PDF that you can fill out, right? That you get a quote online and basically give me your name and address and a number to call you back at, right? I
Right.
think just the ability to do business digitally, the ability just to remove friction. Sometimes, ironically, when you introduce friction in a process, actually make you rethink it and I guess give you a different perspective. Give you a quick example. So in the past, I used to take a bunch of notes on my laptop when I was in meetings, but then I started realizing when I reflect back on my notes that I actually don't remember what that person said. So if there was anything that was clear or whatever, like just because I had my notes, I actually didn't have a lot of recollection. I was just so focused on, basically being a stenographer, right? I actually kind of wasn't involved in the conversation. Whereas by writing it down on a notepad now and having that physical pen and paper, I can't possibly write as fast as I can type. And so I'm only going to write down things that are really important or really impactful questions or really keen insights that they had. And so by introducing that friction of the pen and paper, I'm actually more engaged in conversations than I was in the past. So I think just, rethinking all of those touch points. And then, does this touch add value? That could be a manual process, right? That could be a human connection or whatnot, but just understanding how much your systems maybe drive your process and trying to deconstruct that has been something that's been big this year.